welcome to another book review. This one is about money, man. I've got so many book reviews that I want to do, but this one was ready to do and really relevant to this channel. So I've got four books, one which is a bonus book, which I'll start with. Now, the reason it's a bonus book is because I've only read it once, and that one time I read it, it did open my mind, and it's definitely helped a lot of people. I'm going to read it again. This one is less... it's more about how to change your perception of debt, really, and seeing the opportunities that there are in this world, and not being just stuck in the system so much, following unions and being stuck in the way that you can't get out of a conglomerate of government bullshit, basically. And that is with Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay. I don't really have much to say about this. I want to reread it again. It's brilliant book in terms of like why people can really have faith in the system and get screwed over, as opposed to people who really change their perception and sort of act on the side of debt collecting as opposed to paying their debt. So yeah, that's a good book. I recommend it. But it's not as good as the next books, which I'm going to talk about. But I will be reading Rich Dad Poor Dad again, and that's why it's a bonus book, and it's in this collection right now. Next book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This one is a no-brainer, really. All the information he gives is basically focusing on what we should be doing to make money. It's sort of like what school sort of teaches us, but without the fluff, None of their bullshit fucking personas. This is how you get from A to Z type shit. Just quality. Napoleon Hill, that was the first book I read. He's also got another book called Outwitting the Devil, which is a banger, and he really talks about some great concepts which are just kind of like crazy. The greatest part, sexual transmutation, no one else talks about that. That's really interesting. That's how to really hone your life force and put it into your work so that you can really attain things which people who are just busting their nuts just freely aren't able to actually attain. That sort of energetic power which is not part of their growth. They're stuck in this comfort zone, and they're never really wanting to break out and awaken their genius, really. And then also the last part, which he talks about like having a little council in your head of people who are dead even, and sort of like just questioning them and seeing what they would think, and just having a sort of council in your head that you go to in your dark times to find answers that no one else can give. And let's be honest, there's not many people who are actually very helpful around this place. There's many people who are very arrogant, very aggressive with their teachings. We don't know for sure if they're right or wrong. All we know is that they seem fucking certain, so we follow them to heaven or to hell. So yeah, it's great to think for ourselves, and not just growing rich, but thinking rich. Yeah. All right. This next one is really, really good, actually. It's about abundance and how to get into that abundant mindset with money as opposed to the scarcity mindset. And it is called The Little Money Bible by Stuart Wilde, The 10 Laws of Abundance. This one I've recently reread again. It's a very small book, about 100 pages. Really highly recommend it. And there's just so much great information about just how to be a better person and how to attract wealth. There's only one thing which is a bit crazy, which is like putting a candle in the southwest side of your house and putting a note under it saying the universe, owes me money, basically. That was the only one which I tried, and I didn't get any results, but he said he got results, so that's why it's in the book. But everything else is really great. It's all about compassion, how to really attract wealth and just be the greatest version of yourself that earns lots of money, like as if it's easy to attain. And yeah, for anyone who's stuck in a scarcity mindset, which I'm sure is so many people's parents are all about scarcity and not having enough money and things, and this changes the game. Suddenly you're like, actually, maybe I can live a little bit less tight and actually look at how money can come into me whilst I'm still living, without this sort of pressure of this tense sort of lack of sort of freedom, really. So once we start living that free, like abundant lifestyle, we start to open up some avenues. And yeah, this is a way to open that mindset up, as opposed to thinking everything is out of our sight and out of our reach. Now the last one, now for traders, for everyone who is just interested in investing, this book is really damn good, even for anyone who's not interested in investing and just wants to park their money somewhere where they can increase their money, to just, as everyone does, wants to, not getting stuck in the pension fund, and actually putting their money in the correct place where if the whole world collapses, they're not screwed, they're not fucked over. This book is hella big and hella long, okay? And it is Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins. The 7 steps, simple steps to financial freedom. Look at that, mate. So big. 600 pages, man. This is the biggest, longest, most boring motherfucking book. Now, the only reason it's boring is because there's this one chapter which is like the 9 myths of investing or something, and that is long, boring, and shit. But once you get past that chapter, everything is great. And he talks about how bad that chapter is after he literally says every time when we get past that chapter, he's like, once you've gotten past that chapter, everything else is like easy, okay? And like 100%, it's like 9 dark myths about how people are screwing you over monetarily. And then he gives a financial, he rounds the whole book with an answer of where to put your money. And he has a really great chapter as well where he talks to like the best financial people, such as Paul Tudor Jones, who is a good friend of his, Warren Buffett, maybe Charlie Morgan. I'm not sure if he maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I'm not sure. But the other guy, what's his name? Ray Dalio. There we go. Ray Dalio, Charles Schwab, he's there as well. Yeah, they're really interesting stuff. And if you want to know more about how to invest, how to use your money, and you actually want to take control of your finances as opposed to letting someone else potentially screw you over or not get as much back as you'd want, or just not park your money safely, this is the book that you need to read to really just find out everything you need to know about money, really. 10 out of 10. It also increases your abundant mindset. And that's what all these books do, is that they increase your abundant mindset so that you're not stuck in this sort of box that everyone teaches. I mean, no one really reads these types of books. Everyone just listens to someone else who tells them what to do, as opposed to someone who's at the top of their game, who's written a book about how to be great. People are listening to other people are listening to the wrong people. So these books are really a great place to go, and these are the books which I recommend most, and that is these 3 books. These are the books that will change your life indefinitely, for sure. So really respect for even wanting to go down this journey. Most people cannot be bothered, they're lazy asses, and we used to be like that too, so don't blame them. But here we are, man, trying to get this generational wealth, trying to actually help our bloodline. So keep doing what you're doing, and one love. Big up.